If the authorities had ever wanted to know where people who were being abducted ended up, they may well have looked here. This is the Durgiana Mandir cremation ground in Amritsar. Cremation is a Hindu ritual also used by Sikhs, where the body is returned to the cosmos. In January 1995, human rights activist Jaswant Singh Kalra made an astonishing claim. Police in Amritsar had illegally cremated more than 2,000 unidentified bodies in just 2 years. His information would cost him his life. Kalra was well known and highly respected in the Sikh community. His allegations attracted wide publicity in India, and he travelled abroad to publicise human rights violations against Sikhs. Kalra also approached the state's High Court for an investigation into his claims, but the court threw out his writ on a legal technicality.
When the High Court is dismissing this on the ground that you have no locus standi before the court, it's actually shutting its eyes to the evidence that he brought before, which is of the killing, possible killing and cremation of thousands of people done in one district. Frankly, the revelations made by Kalra and the documents that he had gathered were so astonishing that I had to go with him to find out, and then get the corroboration from people. So I went with him to the cremation grounds to speak to the people. I look at the registers and the records which he produced of the police bringing the dead bodies for cremations illegally.
The records show that Durgiana Mandir ground was one of 3 cremation sites in Amritsar illegally used by the police. It takes about 300 kilograms of wood to burn a single body, and each wood purchase is written in a register. The police subverted the system by burning more than one body on each pyre.
Now, we discovered, just once in Kalra to be precise, discovered by examining these registers that hundreds and hundreds of unclaimed bodies had been burnt in this fashion, and wood had been purchased in this fashion.
So many bodies were being inadequately burnt that farmers told Ram Kumar dogs were carting body parts into their fields. And there were more shocking revelations. This 1995 film by Kumar revealed that not only were bodies being illegally cremated, but doctors were spending only 5 minutes on post-mortem examinations. Worse still, this chief medical officer describes how a person brought in for a post-mortem was still alive. When police discovered their mistake, the patient soon became a corpse.
It was not a dead body. Yes. It was a patient. The patient was in deep coma, brought to mortuary as a dead body.
तरजीह को यहाँ लाया गया, ठीक, वार्ड में भर्ती किया, ठीक, उसको फिर बाद में पुलिस ले गई, ठीक, और बाद में मार करके यहाँ ले आए, फिर दोबारा पोस्टमार्टम किया, ठीक है।
मैंने आधा इतना टाइम लगना चाहिए था, मैं कहा डॉक्टर साहब तुझे जो मर्जी कर वो मैं तो पब्लिक पढ़ना ही तुझे टीम नहीं भेजी, मैं केस निकाल दिया। और जब से मैंने किया स्टार्ट, फिर हर जगह सारे पंजाब में 5 मिनट पोस्टमार्टम, 5 मिनट पोस्टमार्टम, ऐसे करेंगे।
With the authorities confronted by allegations of murder and illegal cremations after the most cursory post-mortems, it was Kalra's turn to disappear. While washing his car, 5 men drag him into a blue van. He'll never return home. The abduction takes only moments, but it's not the perfect crime. Far from it. There is an eyewitness. Rajiv Singh Randhawa.
Sounds, I immediately came here and I saw a van had stopped in front of this house and abducted Mr. Khalda at gunpoint. And
Randhawa saw a vehicle with uniformed police drive off behind the blue van.
I immediately recognized one DSP Ashok Kumar immediately here, and as I was journalist with the Punjabi Tribune at that point of time, I knew it was Tarn police which had abducted Mr. Jaswant Singh Khalda.
Randhawa also names 2 other police involved in the abduction, and their colleagues have been after him ever since. Because he'd seen too much, Randhawa was arrested and charged with murder and robbery. Amnesty International says the charges are merely, quote, a means of harassing and intimidating him. He's not the only one being harassed.